Time to talk travel now. Lorna Riley, Trip Notes podcast host, is with us. It's one of the most famous churches in the world, and now finally, this church that you may be familiar with in Barcelona is being finished. Let's check in with Lorna. Lorna, what church are we talking about?
Well, you use the word familiar. That's a bit of a clue. It is, of course, the Sagrada Familia. Now, this has not been a quick build. If you've ever been to Barcelona, you'll know the masterpiece that was started by Gaudi in 1882. So now, more than 140 years later, we've got a finish date, which is really exciting. Before then, actually next month, it is set to become the biggest building in Barcelona. Surpassing a couple that were built for the Barcelona Olympics, and now it's going to be the biggest church in the world as well. So that's 172.5 metres tall. And next year marks 100 years since Gaudi passed away, and they have guaranteed that it is going to be finished next year.
We thought our infrastructure projects took a long time.
Well, it's like they just kept adding to it. They just couldn't stop. You know, when you're painting and you just don't know when to just leave it be. I would add a little coda here that if you are planning to visit Barcelona and the Sagrada Familia, you need to book weeks, if not months in advance. We arrived in Barcelona very jet-lagged, thought we booked a skip the queue line, and actually booked for a different church entirely. So don't do that.
Okay. And then you're waiting in the hot sun and
and growling at each other. Yeah, it's not good.
All right. You've got a global study, results of a global study this morning on naming New Zealand as the top adventure destination for young travellers. What's the secret to our sauce?
Yes, so they looked at 70 different countries. This is a global index by the International Trade Administration, and they based it on things like natural assets, adventure activities, safety and sustainability. Perhaps not surprisingly, we scored very highly for outdoor recreation. So, you know, you've got your hiking, your bungee jumping, skiing, water sports, alongside environmental protections and also tourism infrastructure. The safety record was paramount, which is really good for us. And I like this too. We also placed first in the world for women travellers and solo travellers as well. So,
oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Because we do a lot of, you know, like particularly from South America, you'll have young women come over and go camping, you know, solo camper vanning up and down New Zealand in a van, that kind of thing. That's cool.
Yep, so we were number one. Australia came in at number two, and the top five rounded out by Switzerland, Costa Rica and Austria. Great.
And the safety, the key aspect there.
Yeah. They say that really catapulted us into the top spot, that it is a pretty safe country despite what, you know, we may read.
Yeah, you have that, because you just throw yourself off a bridge, you want to bounce back.
Well, yeah, you do. You want to know that we have quite sort of firm rules in place about that kind of thing.
Now, are we getting more? We are getting more turbulence.
Yes,
on flights,
we are getting more turbulent. Yes, it is turbulent times. So recently a Delta Airlines flight from Salt Lake City to Amsterdam hit turbulence. This made news all around the world. Had to land an emergency landing in Minneapolis, and 25 people were taken to hospital, which wasn't good. So a study they did in 2017 predicts that turbulence strong enough to cause injury could double or triple globally by the end of this century, all down to climate change, of course. So I had a look at the stats. Most of the turbulent routes globally were based in the northern hemisphere, you'll be pleased to know, mostly over mountain ranges, Andes and Himalayas, particularly bumpy. But I looked at Oceania, and New Zealand does feature quite heavily in the most turbulent flight stakes. So popular flights like Nandi to Wellington and Auckland to Nandi, they were number 9 and number 6 respectively. But the bumpiest flight in the region is a domestic one. It is Christchurch to Wellington.
Oh, really?
And anyone who has flown that in rough weather across the strait and trying to land in Wellington
that is true.
may not be surprised by that.
Just any landing in Wellington most of the time.
It's true. There is one thing, though, you can do to reduce your risk of injury. You got it, Ryan.
This became a thing, and obviously, you remember there was a flight from New Zealand to, it was either Singapore or maybe Australia, and somebody was quite seriously injured. And so every time I fly now, there's texts from mother and mother-in-law about the seatbelt thing.
Has everyone got their seatbelt?
Is everyone going to wear your seatbelt for the whole flight?
But yeah, you won't regret it.
No, you won't. No, it'll stop you hitting the roof of the plane, won't it?